Hello, mind readers. As I set you down, welcome to another episode of Readers Aside, where I do whatever the fuck I want. It's my show. So, I just got back from Wendy's. And instead of a baked potato, which I asked for, I got fries. And, not really as upset about it as I should be, but, whatever. It's still annoying. Like, because the fries aren't, like, the fries are hit and miss at Wendy's. And these ones are somewhere in the middle. Like, I've definitely had much worse, but, like, if you're gonna give me fries instead of my baked potato with sour cream and chives, like, you know, give me fucking better fries, I guess. I don't know. I realized that wasn't a deliberate mistake. Like, I could tell when the guy was taking my order that, you know, he was either new or just like, well, he was definitely new. Because he seemed quite distressed. When pardon me, can't seem to stop stuff in my face with these disgusting fries. When I produced the coupon, it seemed to throw him right out of whack, and I think I believe that's the moment when he forgot about my baked potato. I bet they really don't get a lot of requests for the baked potato instead of the fries. It's not really, it's not really conducive to the fast food, grab and go experience. But I'm just grabbing and going right back across the street over here to the Cliff Goes Live studio where I would eat it. So, like, I have a little table here. Like, you know what I mean? Fuck. Baked potato always makes me feel, a little less fat too. And at this point in my life, we'll say, my fatness. I'm not really. It's not really too hard to kind of just like I'll get the baked potato instead, and that makes me feel pretty good. And because really, I'm not fucking like. I'm not a fat bastard here, like. But at the same time, so it's like I'm just sort of like at this sort of level of pudginess where it's just like, it's like, yeah, I'll get the baked potato. That's a good decision because it's delicious too, and it's healthier. It's not fries, and then so it's just very easy to please myself. Is what I'm saying. Because like when it really comes down to it, I don't give a fuck. I'm getting the burger. So I might as well get a side to go with it. So, like, that's really the overarching, motive really is I want that burger. And if I have to gain, however many fractions of a pound or 2 pounds or whatever the fuck because of it, so be it. Because I can spare. I still got room to grow. You know what I mean? It was like when I was, when I was doing the Oxycontins, like, I always figured, I would eventually quit, and so basically in the same way, I'll eventually stop getting a little bit fatter all the time, eventually, I'll quit that, and, just because there's just no chance at all of me becoming like a total fat slob and like terribly obese. That just like I would lay all of my future wealth that I will make for the rest of my life from this point onward on that would never happen. So like if anyone else wants take that bet and put up their fucking side of that equation. You know, you got the balls, because I got the balls. I'll make that wager, because I know. Feel me? All right. So that's it for the prize. And don't change that dial, folks. If you're confused, like, this is still episode of Reader's Aside. I'm just getting around to it, you know, because I'm not really gonna do. No, I'm gonna close that door. Hold on a second here. There we go. Some privacy. Or is perhaps you might say it privacy, but I read English novels, so that's just the way I talk. It's the way I've learned to say words like that. And that brings us around to the subject matter of today's to the object. Would it be the object of today's episode? I think it actually would be. I don't think it's the subject because like, the subject really is the format. The format provides the subject, but the subject requires an object, you know, to fulfill the format. And so the object is the particular book that will be reading, you know, for this episode. That's the object of this episode. Probably gonna eat this this double bacon cheeseburger deluxe before I do that, though. I'm also drinking this Canada Dry Ginger Ale Lime. It's a lime ginger ale. It's alright. Not what I would usually get. But lately I've been having some pretty bad experiences, like getting Sprites and, like, you know, from like restaurants or like fast food places where it just seems like terribly watered down, like the goddamn, I think it was the Firehouse Subs like a month ago. It was flat. It was flat. Like, I think it was like fucking almost half water. God, it was disgusting. Fuck that place. I ate there again 2 nights ago. Brutal. Firehouse Subs fucking sucks. It's disgusting. It's gross as fuck. Never eating there again. Wendy's, on the other hand, is fucking delicious. And let's dig into it here. By that I mean my burger. I discovered not that long ago that you could order like a double or even a triple of a bacon deluxe, which wasn't aware that you could do that. I thought you could just get, like, you know, the regular Dave's double, you know, Dave's single, Dave's double, Dave's triple, and then on the menu there, it also, underneath that, it has the bacon deluxe, right? Not to be confused with the Baconator. I'm talking about the bacon deluxe, which has, yes, less bacon on it, but also has, like, your regular cheeseburger stuff, you know, like fucking the tomato and the onion and the lettuce, you know, like, I would never make a Baconator at home. It's just kind of a ridiculous idea. Like, I would always, if I had veggies, I would always put the veggies on it. It just makes it better. Now, that's not saying that there isn't a time and place for a Baconator every now and then. There is, but honestly, that's fucking rare. Like, maybe 2-3 times a year. So I've got the double Baconator Deluxe because I discovered that you could do that at one point. And I think I just asked, actually. Or you know what? I think I was listening to fucking Cornette. I think I was listening to fucking to Jimmy, one of his podcasts, and because he talks about Wendy's a lot. I bet that's where I got the idea. Fuck yeah. Oh, God bless it. Very, very rarely does a burger from Wendy's disappoint. Every now and then, I've had one that is pretty rare. Every now and then you'll have one that just, I don't know what's really wrong with it, but it's just fucking gross. And like, I'm pretty sure it's not just I'm having a bad day. It's like they fucked this one up somehow. But that's extremely rare, and that's not happening right now. Goddamn. Oh yeah. Something something incredible about Wendy's beef patties, where like it definitely doesn't taste like, you know, the typical run of the mill fast food burger patties. You know, where like it's got much more of a real, genuine beefy taste to it, and yet at the same time, it also doesn't quite taste like anything that you might classify as like a homemade or or a gourmet. Like it's strangely in the middle there. Like it's got its own thing going on. And no, these square patties have nothing to do with that. I'm talking about flavor here. I'm talking about taste. It's a very interesting phenomenon. Alright. Okay. 8-7-9-27-74. It gets, but of course that's not really much of an analysis, is it? What I'm saying was it was quite refreshing in the beginning, and now it's getting a bit on the warm side, and it's actually starting to kind of taste kind of weird and shit. Like sometimes there are some beverages where where a lukewarming of the beverage. That was a horrible way of expressing that. Where the beverage needs to be ice cold for it to really actually be good. Some beverages more so than others. This might be leaning more towards that, where it really needed to be ice cold, for it not to be kind of gross, really. Alright. I keep saying alright as if I'm like about to move on. No, I'm still like halfway through my burger here, not even. Alright, so, I did it again, sorry. Oh yeah, baby. Oh. This is always just this slow sort of like dance that happens with the Wendy's cheeseburger, where like you don't want to let it cool down too much. You want to devour it because it's delicious, but like I can't eat them fast. I gotta, like, each bite is just a cherished moment. So it's like you kind of adopt this sort of medium pace, or there was something else I was gonna say. Some other word was better. Compromise. You adopt kind of a compromised pace. It's something that I've really mastered. Alright. I swear to God. Alright, I'm actually gonna try to get this started here before I want to get the reading started, and still have some burger left to be eaten, and so I'll be eating and reading at the same time, which is I always really like doing that. It's always nice. Like watching TV and eating, it's like that too. It's a little more difficult because you have to like turn pages and shit sometimes. But anyway, so I'm not going to go into any really like into any context, or give any kind of synopsis or anything like that for what I'm reading today, because I don't want to, because I just I literally just talked about my Wendy's cheeseburger the last 15 minutes, and I'm going to substitute that for like the normal preamble. And that thud that you just heard is the book I'm reading from. It's absolutely massive. Oh. Oh. All I will say is I have in my hands here the annotated oh my God, the annotated Sherlock Holmes. I really feel like it should say the complete annotated Sherlock Holmes. It doesn't. And for now on, I'm just going to add that if ever I repeat the volume title again or something. You know what I mean? Because there will be further episodes out of here. So basically, Sir Arthur Conan Doyle, obviously the author. Sherlock Holmes is the shit. It's probably my favorite thing to read. I am a couple chapters into the short novella A Study in Scarlet. And I think that's about all I'm gonna give you. And I'm just gonna start reading and eating at the same time. And we'll see what comes up aside of that. See what I did there, like that? What comes up on a side, or that kind of works, sort of. There we go. There's my bookmark. I think I'm in chapter, like, what, 3 or some shit? Yeah. So we got the Study in Scarlet by Sir Arthur Conan Doyle. Literally a knight. Chapter 3, The Lauriston Gardens Mystery. I'm about a page or 2 or 3 in the chapter. Hard to tell this giant volume. Like what counts as one page, really. Oh. Where was I? Although this is the complete annotated Sherlock Holmes, I won't be reading most of the notes because they're quite copious. And in fact, I suspect the notes actually, the notes might actually outdo the, like there might actually be more notes per word than the actual original text of the stories. They're absolutely copious notes here. So there's just, like, maybe next time. But I want to read the actual fucking story. Alright, where the fuck was I? There we go. At the door of the house, we were met by a tall, white-faced, flaxen-haired man. Can you hear me? You can probably hear me well. I'll talk a little bit louder than you should do. So you can hear me over by my swallowing and chewing as well. At the door of the house, we were met by a tall, white-faced, flaxen-haired man with a notebook in his hand, who rushed forward and wrung my companion's hand with effusion. "It is indeed kind of you to come," he said. "I have had everything left untouched." Except that, my friend answered, pointing to the pathway. If a herd of buffaloes had passed along, there could not be a greater mess. No doubt, however, you had drawn your own conclusions, Gregson, before you permitted this. Reader's aside, Sherlock Holmes is such a dick. Such a pleasure to read. And reader's aside. "I have had so much to do inside the house," the detective said evasively. "My colleague, Mr. Lestrade, is here. I had relied upon him to look after this." Holmes glanced at me and raised his eyebrows sardonically. "With two such men as yourself and Lestrade upon the ground, there will not be much for a third party to find out." Gregson rubbed his hands in a self-satisfied way. "I think we have done all that can be done," he answered.
It's a queer case, though, and I knew your taste for such things. Indeed. Indeed. Oh, Sherlock Holmes and Wendy's is so good. Oh, what a good idea. Oh, I'm such a degenerate. Scratch that last line from the record. I don't even think I said Regis side position. So that's not really that was just more like sorry, and Regis said, damn it. Whatever. Where are we here? You did not come here in a cab? Asked Sherlock Holmes. No, sir. Nor Lestrade? No, sir. Then let us go and look at the room. With which inconsequent remark he strode on into the house, followed by Gregson, whose features expressed his astonishment. A short passage, bare-planked and dusty, led to the kitchen and offices. Two doors opened out of it to the left and to the right. One of these had obviously been closed for many weeks. The other belonged to the dining room, which was the apartment in which the mysterious affair had occurred. Holmes walked in, and I followed him with the subdued feeling at my heart which the presence of death inspires. Allow me just a moment as I lick the ketchup and mustard off my fingers. Wendy's can be a tad messy. I completely forgot that they fucked up my baked potato. With fries. That burger was so goddamn good. I don't even care. Fuck baked potatoes. Who the hell do I think I am? Ordering a baked fucking potato. I have to admit, like, if I'm being honest, when I opened the bag and saw the fries, it was the tiniest bit of relief almost. You know? Not ashamed to admit it. Just being honest here. Just keeping it real. Alright. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Pick this thing up. Bring it a little closer. Oh, much closer. And readers aside. Oh. It was a large stone room, looking all the larger from the absence of all furniture.
Services. Our auto attendant has changed. Please listen carefully. If you are interested in participating in a research study, press 1 for recruitment. If you already booked an appointment with us, thank you for reaching the Biopharma Recruiting Department. Press 1 to be connected to a clinical research recruiter. Your call may be recorded for quality assurance purposes.
Intensified by the thick layer of dust which coated the whole apartment. All these details I observed afterwards. At present, my attention was centered upon the single, grim, motionless figure, which lay stretched upon the boards with a vacant, sightless eyes staring up at the discolored ceiling. It was that of a man about 43 or 44 years of age, middle-sized, broad-shouldered, with crisp, curling black hair and a short, stubbly beard. He was dressed in a heavy broadcloth frock coat and waistcoat with light-coloured trousers and immaculate collar and cuffs. A top hat, well brushed and trim, was placed upon the floor beside him. His hands were clenched and his arms thrown abroad, while his lower limbs were interlocked, as though his death struggle had been a grievous one. On his rigid face there stood an expression of horror, and, it seemed to me, of hatred, such as I have never seen upon human features. This malignant and terrible contortion, combined with the low forehead, blunt nose, and prognathous jaw, prognathous jaw, gave the dead man rears aside like, what the hell is a prognathous? What is prognathous? Clearly I don't know. And rears aside, gave the dead man a singularly Simus. Readers aside. So, I believe I understand the intent of this word, and if it would have been written out and spelled like Simeon, that would be much. I would like that better. I would recognize that. However, Simous, Simus. Pretty sure that's not a word people really use anymore. You know, because, like, for one, people generally don't use more than like one like adjective variation for certain things anymore. I've noticed that too. You know, like, why would you need another word similar to simian that means the same thing but is actually like a different word? You know, it's superfluous and like unnecessary. However, a more intelligent general public, and particularly a more intelligent creative writing field of people. Like, I'm making my own point here. Would have more. You know what I mean? God damn it! I just like explained my own fucking stupidity, didn't I? Without really even fucking, I just walked right into that. Sorry, I didn't even finish that sentence, did I? Simus? Simus. That's what I'm going to say. I know you have these problems too. Don't act like you don't. This malignant and terrible, and readers aside, this malignant and terrible contortion, combined with the low forehead. Readers aside, I know what's being talked about. I've seen people with this weird low forehead that makes them look strangely cavemanish, and like they are always definitely like dumber too. Like it's a strangely consistent characteristic. And readers aside, the low forehead, blunt nose, and damn, I forgot about this word too. Prognathous jaw. Man, getting nailed here. Gave the dead man a singularly simus and ape-like appearance, which was increased by his writhing, unnatural posture, reared to the side. So you can see where I got the impression that this simus or simus word, must be some variation on simian, meaning like ape-like. So like really, I'm not dumb at all because I know exactly what's going on here. It's just that I don't properly possess or am totally skilled in equipping myself with all the tools and shit to like what, like words are the great mystifier of the mind, or of what other people's minds think of you and shit. Like I've noticed this in my life. If I didn't say readers aside, it's obviously readers aside. I've noticed this in my life. People really form very quick opinions on you based on how they hear you, and how you speak, and all that. And it really has almost nothing to do with your actual level of intelligence. Like it doesn't have to, anyways. Like what I'm saying is, like it doesn't necessarily, right? Because I really don't make much of a big effort to actually sound intelligent. Meanwhile, like I'm rather intelligent, I would say. Like a couple rathers. I would say a couple rathers. I was trying to be modest here. I'm not saying I don't want to just outright say I'm extremely intelligent, but I think a couple rathers. I'm rather intelligent here. Particularly like I think I just proved it. Like with all this simus and simian and ape-like, and how basically I've explained, well, except for fucking prognathus. I mean, I have no idea what that means. Other than that, I've just come across this word I've never seen before, and just given the general context of the sentence and all that shit, and like I know what it means. I'm like 98% sure that it means what I believe and said that it means, and I have no problem with fucking sitting here and admitting that I don't I'm not sure how I should say that, and I probably sound dumb. I'm fine with that. I mean, I'm quite equipped at sounding dumb, right? Because it's really much more difficult than you would think. Because really, I would put this challenge to most people. Just talk. Just talk how you just talk to people without and with much of reserve. And just like try not to really censor yourself. You will inevitably sound pretty stupid. Definitely much stupider than you were hoping to when you woke up that day. Don't stop. Just keep going. Because it it allows yourself to relax and to realize, oh right, I'm actually way more intelligent than the language permits me, isn't it? Yeah, that's true. You know what I mean? Like, have you ever not been able to explain yourself, but you perfectly understand something? Happens to me quite a lot, actually. Oftentimes too, I'll be trying to explain something, I'll be about to explain something, and it's like the first few words are coming out of my mouth. I still don't even at this point realize that I don't actually have the right words to explain it, and then it hits you with this strange paradoxical moment where you're like, well, hold on a second, but how do I understand that? Because you understood it, you perfectly understood it, and then like words come into the picture, and then like your inability to really translate it into words now kind of fucks with your head, because like, wait a second, how can I understand it if I can't really explain it? Because those are two different fucking things. Really going to great lengths to defend myself here, and I think it's all totally justified. Now after my assault on fucking words and language, let's just get back to reading this great book that I love. Okay, whatever. Henry aside. Pardon me.
have seen death in many forms, but never has it appeared to me in a more fearsome aspect than in that dark, grimy apartment, which looked out upon one of the main arteries of suburban London. Oh, just getting more comfortable here. Oh, good Lord. Oh, butter off, fan. Lestrade, lean and ferret-like as ever, was standing at the doorway and greeted my companion and myself. "This case will make a stir, sir," he remarked. "It beats anything I have seen, and I am no chicken." "There is no clue?" said Gregson. "None at all," chimed in Lestrade. Sherlock Holmes approached the body and, kneeling down, examined it intently. "You are sure that there is no wound?" he asked, pointing to numerous gouts and splashes of blood which lay all round. "Positive," cried both detectives. "Then of course this blood belongs to a second individual, presumably the murderer, if murder has been committed. It reminds me of the circumstances attendant on the death of Van Jansen in Utrecht." Rears aside. "I think that's in Holland, maybe. I don't know." And rears aside. "In the year 34. Do you remember the case, Gregson?" "No, sir." "Read it up. You really should. There is nothing new under the sun. It has all been done before." As he spoke, his nimble fingers were flying here, there, and everywhere, feeling, pressing, unbuttoning, examining, while his eyes wore the same faraway expression which I have already remarked upon. So swiftly was the examination made that one would hardly have guessed the minuteness with which it was conducted. Finally, he sniffed the dead man's lips, and then glanced at the soles of his patent leather boots. "Has he not been moved at all?" he asked. "No more than was necessary for the purposes of our examination." "You can take him to the mortuary now," he said. "There is nothing more to be learned." Gregson had a stretcher and 4 men at hand. At his call, they entered the room, and the stranger was lifted and carried out. As they raised him, a ring tinkled down and rolled across the floor. Lestrade grabbed it up and stared at it with mystified eyes. "There has been a woman here," he cried. "It's a woman's wedding ring." He held it out as he spoke upon the palm of his hand. We all gathered around him and gazed at it. There could be no doubt that circlet of plain gold had once adorned the finger of a bride. "This complicates matters," said Gregson. "Heaven knows they were complicated enough before." "You're sure it doesn't simplify them?" observed Holmes. "There's nothing to be learned by staring at it." "What did you find in his pockets?" "We have it all here," said Gregson, pointing to a litter of objects upon one of the bottom steps of the stairs. "A gold watch, number 97163 by Barrowed of London. Perhaps." "Gold Alberta chain, very heavy and solid. Gold ring with Masonic device. Gold pin. Bulldog's head with rubies as eyes. Russian leather card case with cards of Enoch J. Drebber of Cleveland corresponding with the EJD upon the linen. No purse but loose money to the extent of £7.13. Pocket edition of
Boccicello. Oh my god, I have that book. Bocciccio's. Bocciccio. Boccaccio. Maybe it's Boccaccio. Boccaccio's Decameron. Reader's Aside. I have this book at home. I bought it some years ago, and it just by the like the it intimidates me. It looks strange. I can tell it's very old, and I don't think I've even ventured to read like a single page, or I've never even like flipped it open. That's probably not true. I probably flipped it open. You know what? Who cares if I have? This is not relevant. That was a bad Reader's Aside. I'm sorry about that one. And Reader's Aside. Pocket edition of you know what? Reader's Aside. Mine's a pocket edition too. Does that improve the Reader's Aside? There's a future episode to come right there. That's a fucking sneak peek. The Decameron or Decameron, whatever the hell it's called. I'll look.
Thanks for calling Biopharma. George speaking. How may I help you?
Yeah, Biofarmer. You wanted like people to like that were doing your your Xanax, people that were doing it recreationally to participate in the study.
Yes.
Yeah, I got one for you. I believe my balls have a long, bright future abreast your lonely chin. You feel me?
Joseph Stangerson. Not likely, anyways. Like, who is that? I don't know. And Reader's Aside. 2 letters, Reader's Aside. Like, that was, I think this whole last few Reader's Asides are very illustrative of where when the format is not working well. You know, it's when I'm not I'm focusing on minutia, which is, you know, like kind of not relevant and uninteresting, and I always start to kind of like have these little mini panics where I try to like make up for it and shit like that, like I guess I'm doing right now. Although I feel like I'm better off for having explained myself, at least maybe. Let's just get back to it here. I don't even remember what the hell. Well, that was this book. What's the book I was doing there? Henry's Aside. 2 letters. One addressed to E.J. Drebber and one to Joseph Stangerson. Stangerson. At what address? American Exchange Strand. To be left till called for. They are both from the Guion Steamship Company, and refer to the sailing of their boats from Liverpool. It is clear that this unfortunate man was about to return to New York. Reader's Aside. So the book was just found in his pocket, I think. Right, yeah. Oh. 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 Oh, yeah. Getting a little sleepy here. One must chuff to keep up one's energy. There is as I said, copious notes here and some illustrations and shit. I think I'll just look at those later. Some of them do seem quite interesting too. What a shame not to share them. On the other hand, who am I to really say what's shameful and what isn't? What the fuck was that? That must have been my tablet. Did you hear that? Or something, you know what I mean? Where it thinks it's fucking trying to do something. Guarantee you it's just like something couldn't happen because it's not connected to the internet. It's like, you know what? I feel better that you're not connected to the internet. Fucking traitor, what the fuck? Like, why is it always trying to do shit, you know? Like, fuck off. Like, I guarantee you, if had it been successful, if I was connected to the internet, whatever it was trying to do, happened, you wouldn't hear no noise. Now, isn't that curious? Isn't it curious, you know, that it will do shit and not really let you know, but then when it can't do shit, it kind of lets you know, so then you're like, oh, fuck, it needs to do something. You're like, you know what I mean? Fucks with you. Not with me, though. I'm fucking master and commander of that shit. I commanded to fuck off with stupid, ridiculous beeps and boops. I guess we're gonna continue here. Still the chapter's going on here. Turning the page. Henry is have you made any inquiries to this man, Stangerson? I did it at once, sir, said Gregson. I have had advertisements sent to all the newspapers. Views aside, you may the audience may be more familiar with the pronunciation advertisements. However, I pronounce it advertisements. It's just it's just something I picked up. It's a little more economical and I would even say slick, and it's anyways aside. I have had advertisements sent to all the newspapers, and one of my men has gone to the American Exchange, but he has not returned yet. Have you sent to Cleveland? We telegraphed it this morning. Readers aside, did they have fucking telegraph lines like across the fucking ocean? I think they did, didn't they? Or wait a second. Like you had to have the line for the telegraph, right? The next step was the radio, or something. Like the next step was wireless. I think I'm right on that. I think the telegraph was completely wired. And then like the next step was basically like radio, like wireless. Like people think wireless is all fucking, you know, all the rage now. It's like everything's wireless and all this is fuck radio's wireless, dumbasses. Fuck. You're trying to like impress me with your Bluetooth. What you mean, like radio earphones? Like, isn't that just radio somehow? Like, I'm not impressed by that. Good lord. Bluetooth. Like, what in the fuck is Bluetooth? At least radio has some kind of like scientific fucking, you know, background or origin or some shit like that. Like, what in the fuck? Like, you just know that the name Bluetooth has fucking nothing to do with what's going on, you know? It's just, and like, has anyone ever even asked that? Like, surely other people have asked this question. I've asked this question for fucking years. Why is it called Bluetooth? What's up with that? Is it somehow related to Blu-ray, and why is that called that too? is blue like actually? Is there actually some good reason as to why these things are blue, or being called blue? I half suspect that there is, but I also half suspect that there isn't though, because like, what does the color blue have to do with it? But anyways, nah. And readers aside, the Lord, where are we here? I have had advertisements sent. I forgot. I forgot. I've had advertisements sent to all the newspapers, and one of my men has gone to the American Exchange, but he has not returned yet. Have you sent to Cleveland? We telegraphed this morning. How did you word your inquiries? We simply detailed the circumstances and said that we should be glad of any information which could help us. You did not ask for particulars at any point which appeared to you to be crucial? I asked about Stangerson. Nothing else. Is there no circumstance on which this whole case appears to hinge? Oh boy. Oh. Will you not telegraph again? I have said all I have to say, said Gregson in an offended voice. Sherlock Holmes chuckled to himself and appeared to be about to make some remark when Lestrade, who had been in the front room while we were holding this conversation in the hall, reappeared upon the scene, rubbing his hands in a pompous and self-satisfied manner. Mr. Gregson, he said, I have just made a discovery of the highest importance, and one which would have been overlooked had I not made a careful examination of the walk. The little man's eyes sparkled as he spoke, and he was evidently in a state of unsuppressed exultation at having scored a point against his colleague. Come here, he said, bustling back into the room, the atmosphere of which felt clearer since the removal of its ghastly inmate. Now stand there. He struck a match on his boot and held it up against the wall. Look at that, he said triumphantly. I have remarked the paper had fallen away in parts. In this particular corner of the room a large piece had peeled off, leaving a yellow square of coarse plastering. Across this bare space there was scrawled in blood-red letters, a single word. Raish. He stuck a match with... What? Oh, yes, Raish. Readers aside. That's spelled R-A-C-H-E. Do you think I'm right? Raish? I think I'm right. Like, clearly it's probably some sort of unfinished word, like maybe it was meant to be Rachel. But until then, I think that Raish is the more appropriate pronunciation. Maybe that is someone's name. They could be French or something like that. You know what? Maybe that's a good place to end there. On that just crazy cliffhanger there with the word and shit like that, being mysterious and all that. All right. I've given you enough of myself for now. So please consider this, and consider me, and then last of all, consider yourselves before you wreck yourselves. Don't overlook it. Just try to mind your own business.
And they even went to the moon. And there was a time in this country, a long time ago, when reading wasn't just